Hey, this is Wellson, and this is behind the track of my new single, Never Alone. We will go through how the song was born, the general idea of the song, some lyrics, and even the music video. So, the thing with Never Alone is that I, in general, always just wrote songs about loss, about grief and heartache, and I promise you will also hear those songs in the future. Um, but I set myself the challenge to also value the good times in a relationship. And even though you might have felt angry and pain for a long time, there have been good times. There definitely have been times that you've been happy, and nobody can steal those memories from you. They shaped you for the future. They made you the person you are now, and so they are worth memorable. So I set myself in back into the time where I still have been happy and wrote the lyrics from that perspective. And also with the vibe of the song, I kind of tried to set myself back into those moments. So I wanted to encourage you to think about that as well, that it hasn't always just been bad. And I hope that my song Never Alone will help you with that, maybe with the vibe or with the lyrics, that you find peace with those past relationships. So I wrote Never Alone about a relationship that I had after I have been single for, I think, more than 5 years. And especially after you have been single for such a long time, being in a relationship again can be super overwhelming. And I love that line that says, "There's no take me back because every second's better than before." Because it expresses that you just live in the moment and that you're right where you are now and you don't want to be somewhere else with someone else. And the other line is, "At every single orange drive we're daring, every yellow car we spy, there's a shining in your eye." And that's some kind of insider, and that's why I also wanted to tell you about that when I have been in that relationship, we watched a short film which is also called Orange Drive, and in that short film there are some kids in a car, and they have that tradition that every time they pass an orange or a yellow traffic light, everyone in the ceiling shouts SEX. And we kind of found that funny, so we implemented in our daily routine as well. So every time we pass the traffic light on yellow, we also hit the ceiling and shouted SEX. And to be honest, that's something that I still do until today. And it's even in the music video, I found that very important. So I don't know if you've recognized it already. And if you have even seen the music video, if you haven't, do it now. It's on YouTube. It's pretty cool. And what I also like about the song is that if you just look at the lyrics, it could be actually a wedding song. And I know it's from its vibe kind of dancey and stuff, but if you look at the lyrics, it feels like forever we're in this together. And so should I do a wedding version of it, like a slow version? What do you think? Leave it in the comments. So about maybe 3 years ago, Andy, my producer, and I, we sat together for some kind of songwriting camp. We went to Austria and to the Alps and had a really nice house there to get in that creative vibe. And I just came there with a chorus, so the chorus was already done. But already on the first day, we created the lyrics, the verses, switched it over again with some new verses, the whole chord structure, and at the end of day one, we had the whole song ready, even with a demo. Um, and some time passed. We went into the studio again to record guitars and vocals, and we also met up with Andy's brother, who's a really nice guitar player, and he came up with that like, and it just vibed, and we liked it, and so we implemented it in that song, and then we doubled that melody with the vocals, And then when we came to the end part, which was ba da ba ba ba, we noticed that it maybe sounds a bit familiar to something. Maybe you know which restaurant I'm talking about. And at first I thought, yeah, just leave it because it's funny. It's a nice Easter egg because the girl the song is about, she literally lived above the drive-through of that restaurant. And but in the end I just decided that I just don't want to have that in the song, because on one hand it was just an Easter egg for me and nobody else would get it, and on the other side I don't want to have a conflict with the restaurant, and I also don't want to support the restaurant. And that's why we changed that very last part of that melody again. And then the song was pretty much done, but the mixing process took some time, but it felt better with every version. And in the end, we gave the song to Ludwig Meyer, who mastered the tracks, who's also done stuff for James Arthur and Zoe Wees before, and many other great artists. And I just loved how the song turned out. So first of all, I got that very nice old-timer from my uncle. It's an Opel Olympia record from 1965, so it's incredibly old. There was no opportunity to buckle up. It always flooded on literally every traffic light that it just went off. But it was just super fun for me to ride in this car. I have never been in an old-timer before. It was really hard to steer, but it really gave me that vintage road trip vibe, and that's what I was intending for the music video, so it was just a perfect match. There's also a quite funny story that when we have been on the way to the shooting, we thought that it might be good to go into the car wash first. And then we had been in that tunnel and everything was fine, but when we reached the end of the tunnel and it said to like start the engine again and to move, it flooded again. And I instantly panicked because it didn't went on again. And I tried again, and I already saw the car behind me, which was automatically pulled by that machine. And if I didn't move, it would just crash into the old-timer from behind. So I thought, okay, just one more try, otherwise I have to get out of the car and push it out. And luckily, we made it out literally in the last second. It was like that distance from the other car. So that was a very exciting start for the whole shooting. But apart from that, I was super lucky to be able to work with a lot of friends on set. On one hand, there was the camera work by Martin, who's also done a lot of guitar stuff on my songs, and we're friends for a very long time. And he and Tilo, who is on set as well, we also did some music video for other artists already. And hair and makeup was done by a very old friend from school from back then. And so that was a really nice and chilled atmosphere for the whole 2 days that we were shooting. Of course, shooting 2 days is super exciting, but also exhausting because we like woke up at like 7 and came back at midnight maybe. But I think it was all worth it. I loved how personal the locations were. There was scouting like weeks before already, that we were swimming in a lake that I have been all summer in my study time, and that we shot the final of the video, the performance scene, in an Irish pub in my old hometown, where I have been for like karaoke sessions and also concerts so many times before. And so I was really thankful that I was permitted to shoot these scenes there. And overall, I'm just super happy with the result of the video. It perfectly fitted my vision, and it perfectly fitted to the song. And I hope you like it as much as I do. If you haven't seen it before, do that now. It's on YouTube. And leave a comment what you think about it.